So we're to the point where we can start putting together a strategy. And today we're going to be working on a hybrid strategy. In fact, we're going to be calling it the Phase 4 Rookie Edition. Hey, my name is Joe and this is my Craps Master journey. Let's make it yours too. So far we've gone through and we've talked about knowing your limits. So in other words, your bankroll and how much you should have for a stop loss and all that type of stuff. But also we've gone through the different phases of a dice roll. So remember that there's 4 different phases. There's the come out roll, there's the beginning phase, the mid roll, and then the monster roll. The last 2 videos covered the come out roll, both the first one from the light side and the second one from the dark side. Hey, I'll put links above to the light side come out video. But now we're talking about the early roll, the mid roll, and the monster roll. And to do this, we're going to develop a strategy. So I'm going to show you the strategy as I'm coming out with it. And if you guys can, leave comments, leave suggestions, let's work on this together and make this a strategy that we can make profitable, and we can be proud to bring it to the casino, and we can use it against the random roller. We can also use it on our own rolls itself. So the way I have the strategy set up, and remember this beginning part is the come out. And we've gone through the come outs again. Above I'll put the dark side come out link right now. But we've done the come outs already. So this strategy we're going to start with a $50 don't pass bet. And then we're going to go with a lay 4 and a lay 10 for $60 each. Now, keep in mind that for every $20 you put as a lay bet, that's going to cost you $1 for a VIG, which is a 5% commission that the casino charges you. So this $60 and this $60 here is going to come to us at a $3 VIG on each one of them, or $6 altogether. So my casino charges the VIG up front. I'm just going to put it right here, so that way if it would win, the casino earns that VIG. Obviously if the 7 hits, they'll take it all away. But again, we're only going to leave this lay bet up for 1 roll, and that's our come out roll. And if the 4-10 does not hit, we will get these lay bets back plus the VIG back. Now, the 4 and the 10 will pay out $1 for every $2 that's bet if that 7 is rolled on the come out. So since we have $60 on there, and if the 7 was rolled, we get paid out $30 here. We would get paid out $30 here, and we would lose the VIG. So that would go to the bank. Okay, if the 4 would roll, we would lose the $60 plus the $3 VIG. And the same would apply to the 10. If any of the other numbers here rolls, we could take these down and we'll put that back into our rack. Now, let me show you something on the computer. This is our getting to know your limits screen. And this is one of my first videos that I did in this series. And I talked about what our bankroll will be. And this one, if you look on weekly session number 1, we have a starting bankroll of $500. We're going to bring the bankroll of $500 to the casino. We're going to risk 100% of it during session 1. A little bit risky, I know, but in order to build your bankroll, you need to start doing a little bit of risk. And as we go, the percentage that we're risking of our bankroll is going to decrease every single week or every single session that we do. Our goal during our first session will be $100. And then of that $100, we'll reinvest $75 into our bankroll. We'll put $25 in our profit account. And when you're talking about the profit account, go back to that video that I did, Knowing Your Limits. And I'll put a link up on the top of the screen right now to link to that video. But that'll tell you about how you can put some extra money in your pocket. And just watch the video, guys. It's pretty good. Again, our bankroll will be 10 shooters worth. So that means that we have $50 per shooter. Now, I know that I have more than $50 on the table right now. We have 50 just on a don't pass alone. We have 60, 120, so 50 plus 120 is 170 plus the $6. So we have $176 of our $500 bankroll on here. And like I said, we're only spending $50 per shooter. So if you look at it, we're going to have at risk, I'm going $60 because these all cannot lose all at the same time here, guys. You can only lose one at a time. So at the 7 rolls, we're going to lose this up here, but we'll get paid out over here. So basically, we're making a couple dollars. So let's go through that scenario. 7 rolls, we lose the don't pass, but we get paid out $30 for here. We get paid out $30 for here, and we lose those VIGs. Okay, so what happened now? We basically lost $56, but we made $60. So we actually profited $4 there. Okay, so let's go back through and we'll go through the next scenario. So again, $50 on that don't pass. $60 on the lay 4, lay 10, $3 VIG for each one of them. And the next scenario would be in 11 rolls. Okay, this is the worst case scenario on our come out. If the 11 rolls, we lose the don't pass and we don't do anything with this. This stays up the same. So basically we're losing $50. This is the one area of the come out that I'm choosing not to protect, because if you think about it, it's only going to roll 2 out of 36 rolls that you owe 11. Now it does come up, but I'm going to play the odds here that I'm not going to worry about it. So if the 5, 6, 8, or 9 rolls, that's going to become the point. So let's say the 9 rolls. That becomes the point, and that's the end of the come out roll or the come out phase. So that's phase 1 of the phase 4 rookie edition. And I'm calling it rookie edition, guys, because this is my introductory strategy that I want to get going to work in a casino. And hey, I'm looking for critiques. Make sure you put in the comments ideas, thoughts, improvements that you could have for this strategy. So that's the come out roll. The next phase, guys, is the beginning roll. So we have the come out roll. Phase 2 is going to be the beginning roll. So that's point is established. Say it's a 9. So we're going to take these lay bets off, put them in our rack. We'll also take the VIGs back, put that in our rack. So that's all money that we had out just for protection of that come out roll. The beginning roll now starts off with $18 or 3 units on the 6, $18 or 3 units on the 8, and then 3 units on that field. And we gotta put our caps on there. And this is the beginning roll. Now the beginning roll is gonna be rolls 2 through 5. In theory. But what I'm considering the beginning roll for this strategy is trying to get back to $51 minimal profit into our rack, okay? And let me explain. This field bet here is going to pay out on a 2, 3, 4, 9, 10, 11, or 12. And that's what we're hoping to hit on this first roll, is one of those numbers, so we can get paid at $15, and I'll show you why in just one second here. So our goal is to get the 6 and 8 covered, the 5 and 9 covered. And we just rolled a 3-2-5. That would be the worst case scenario for this situation because we would lose this field, okay? Since we lost the field, I'm gonna cover that in the next video, what we would do with that situation. But let's put the $15 back on the field again. And let's say the 9 rolls, 6, 3, 9. Say the point was at 10. I'm just doing this for explanation purposes. The 9 rolls here, guys, we get paid out $15 on that field. Now, what that's going to do is it's going to allow us to take 15 of those dollars, put it on the 5, and we're going to take the other $15 and put it on the 9. This is the beginning of our beginning roll phase. So remember, that's rolls 2 through 5 approximately is our beginning roll phase for the strategy. So now we have got 3 units on the 5, 6, 8, and 9. So all of our inside numbers are covered, essentially for the cost of 3 units, or 3 bets here. So we got the 4th one for free. Now, our next goal of the beginning phase is to try to collect at least 3 times on this, or somehow get up to $51. And the reason I say somehow get up to $51 is, let's say we go back to that first roll again, we have $15 on the field. If we hit a 2 or a 12, that pays out double, so that would pay out $30. And what would be nice about this is we would have enough money to cover that 5 and the 9, like I just said. We would take $15 of that and put it right into our rack, because remember, Some of these rolls are going to be kind of short, guys, and one of the biggest downfalls of a lot of strategies is people do not collect money fast enough for their strategy. So they actually end up losing money even though, because they have so much money out on the board. But we already racked $15 here, and that was assuming that the 2 or the 12 would roll. Again, our goal is to get $51 collected into our rack, so that way that's going to basically cover all of our bets that are out here, and I'll show you why. And again, right now we only have $50 at risk. That's all that we're allowed to use per shooter according to the chart that we had set there. So we're going to look for 3 hits here, guys. Let's just do this really quick. We have a 6-6-12 box cards, does nothing. We have a 5-3-8, so that would be hit number 1. That 8 will pay out $21, and we're just going to take that $21, put it into our rack. So we have $21 towards our 51 that's available, that we need. And 4-3-7, we don't need that. Let's do a different one. Another 7, 6-1-7 this time. And 2-1-3 is a horn, that does nothing. And another 2-1-3 horn, numbers that we don't need. And that shows you how difficult this strategy could be. Here we go, 5-3-8 pays out another $21. So right now we've got $42 collected. So one more hit will bring us above and beyond that $51 so we can go into the mid-roll phase, which is phase number 3. There we go, 6-8. And again, that's another $21. So now we have collected a total of $63 so far in the strategy. And that'll allow us to jump into the mid-roll phase. And the mid-roll phase, by definition, will be rolls 6 through 15 approximately. So this is where the phase where most of the rollouts will end. Because the average roll is going to be somewhere between 7 to 8 rolls, 6.5 to 8 rolls, somewhere in there for the average shooter. Some will go longer, some will go shorter. And that's what we're hopefully doing with the strategies. We'll be around long enough to be able to experience that. So now we're going to go into phase 3 of our phase 4 rookie edition strategy. So phase 3 is going to start off with taking that don't pass down. Now, I know I'm going to get a lot of flack from a lot of people for that because, hey, the hardest part is getting that don't pass to be set. And after that, we should be an advantage. But here's the situation, guys. I already have my bets that I'm going to be doing here covered by that $51 plus profit. So I'm just trying to recover and protect the monies that I have out there because we're starting with a $500 bankroll here, guys. We're risking $50 per shooter. Right now we are at that break even, or we're at the point that we're doing a free roll basically. So all the winnings have covered what we're gonna be doing. So we took that $50 down as a part of our phase 3 part. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna leave this money up here and we're gonna start pressing whatever numbers hit plus its sister number. And our goal is to try to get each one of these up to a bet that pays out $35. So basically we're looking for 110 inside here. So that would essentially be a $25 on a 5 and a 9, a $30 bet on the 6 and 8. And we'll talk about that. And that's hopefully will bring us to that monster roll phase. So anywhere that we're at 16 rolls or longer. So let's just roll this out really quick, see if we can get these hit. We have a 4-1-5. That's going to pay out another $21. And then, like I said, what we're going to do now is we're going to increase, or we're going to progress our bet 1 unit on the number that was hit, as well as the sister. So now we have 4 units on the 5 and 9. 5 and 9. We have 3 units on the 6 and 8. We're going to take this $11 here, we're just going to put it into our rack for profit. So now we're at $63, $73, $74 in profit, and we only have $20, $40, $76. So we're basically at a break-even point. You know, we have just as much money on the table as what we had brought back in. So we're at free roll right now, starting right now, guys. And we have a 6-2-8, that's perfect. So that hits the other numbers. That again pays out $21. And here what we're gonna do is we're gonna take $1 from our bankroll, drop it in, and 628, we're gonna go up 1 unit on the number that was hit. We're gonna go up 1 unit on the sister number. And now all of these bets here are at 4 units. We have another $10 put into our rack. Okay, our goal again, like I said, is to get this up to 25, 25, 30, and 30. So let's go. And 628, perfect. Okay, what that's gonna do is that's gonna pay out $28 this time. Because there's 4 units on there. And that should be enough to bring this up to $30 each here, guys. So let's count this out here. Okay, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that'll be for a quarter. Okay, so we have $30 here, $30 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's $11 in there. And there we go. So we're gonna be able to rack $16 off of that. And we've got both bets up to $30 now. So our next goal is to try to get these up to 25 so we can continue on to phase 4 on the monster roll. And we have a 314 does nothing. And we have a 617. Let's go on so we can get to the next roll. I know that would be a loser, guys. 213 is a horn number, shocker. And we have a 538. Okay, 538 pays out $35. Now what that's gonna do is, technically we would press that sister number, but hey, we're trying to get this up to 25 so we can get to that monster roll phase, phase number 4 of the strategy. So we're gonna take $5, put up there, $5 up there. You roll this out, that's 25 each. So we're gonna put quarters on there now. So now we are at that 110 inside. And the cool thing is that is completely funded by our initial profits, our initial wins. So we are all set up to go to the next phase, which is that monster roll phase. $110 here. We're gonna take this down and put it in the center for now. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to 96 inside. So let's do this one. So let's pull out $100 in nickels. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's $100 in nickels, and that'll be the quarters to pay for that. Okay, so we're gonna go with 3 units across every number that's on here. Okay, now we're gonna pull out $10 in singles. 2, 3, 4, 5. And that'll pay for that. We're gonna put $3 on here, $3 on there. And that's gonna allow us to rack $14. So we are now at the monster roll phase, and we have got everything bought and paid for. We're all on free roll. We have every single number on the board covered as far as the point numbers are concerned. Now, the goal of the monster roll phase is going to be to start collecting money, but also set ourselves up for the big run, for that big money maker. So let's just roll this out and see what happens. And this is the cool part about our monster roll phase. I don't want that. We got 527. We don't want that. We want a 628. Okay, 628. 3 units pays out $21. And what we're going to do on this first roll, and only the first roll, is we're going to drop in another $1. And that's going to allow us to go up 1 unit on each one of the inside numbers. So we are pressing up 22 inside. And that's going to put 4 units on each one of these. Now, we don't have to put any more money in for the rest of the strategy. And let me roll this out here really quick, and I want to show you how this monster roll can progress up. We have a 224, 3 units is going to pay out. Again, this will start being a buy bet at $20 here. So 3 times 9 is going to be 27. So that pays out $27. And let me get that in nickels here, guys, instead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's going to allow us to go another 22 inside. Okay, and we'll rack a nickel. Okay, so let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have a quarter on both of those. And this should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 5. So that's going to be $30 on those. So if you look at that, guys, we're up to the 110 inside again. And this is all based off of profits. And I would like to think that every so often we'll be able to get some rolls that will be to that point. And we still have only 3 units on this outside. But here's the cool thing is if we can get another inside hit, that'll give us a $35 win. Well then, what do we need to go all the way across? We don't need the 22 inside. We would go with a 32 across bet. So if we can hit one of those inside numbers, there you go, 628. That's going to pay out $35. Okay, and let's take 35 out of our rack here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that's $35 right there, guys. That's going to allow us to go with our 32 across. So that's going to be 1 unit on each one of these, and everything is completely funded by our hits. Okay, give us our $3 put back in our rack, and my rack is really messy here, guys, because I'm just trying to go through this. So now, each one of these inside numbers here will pay out $42. And these outside numbers now are up to $20, so they become buy bets. And remember, for every $20 that you have on a buy bet on the 4 and 10, that'll cost a $1 VIG. In my casino, again, they charge it right up front, so we'll throw them out there just in case that it's hit. Okay. So we're just going to roll this out, and this is where you start building it up, you start making the money. And everything that we do from here on out is going to be fully funded by the hits here. So we're going to hopefully make enough money to keep on upping this bet, but also put money into our rack so we are collecting. It's a 314. This $20 here, we're going to lose that $1 VIG, but we're going to get paid out $40 here. Okay, that $40 is going to allow us to pay this out in quarters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in nickels, I mean. Okay, and then let's get 5 in pennies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so what that's going to do is it's going to allow us to go up again another 28 across, and we get to put $8 into our rack this time. So we're going up 1 unit every single time that we win, and every time that we win from here on out with this monster roll, we're going to be putting additional money back into our rack. So now these buy bets are going to be at a quarter each, so that's going to be paying out $50 now. And again, we'll still go with a $1 VIG for that, so we're going to pull $1 out of our rack for over here. And we now have got $49 payouts on the 5, 6, 8, and 9. And let's just roll this till the big red comes out now, and then that'll kind of give you an idea of how this roll will go. 415, right there we got paid out 35 for that quarter. We got paid out 14 for the other 2 bets. Okay, again, we're going to get paid, we're going to drop 32 across, I'm sorry. So we got that, that. And let's pull 2 nickels out of our rack. And we would rack the other 27. And then everything would go up 1 unit again. Okay, so hopefully you kind of see how this strategy works. Again, we're going to start with the come out roll, which is our phase 1. And the phase 1, the come out roll will be $50 on that don't pass. It's going to be $60 late 4, $60 late 10. And hopefully we're going to get through that come out roll. So what will happen in phase number 2 is we would take that late bet off, the 4 and 10 off. We would put 3 units on each of 6 and the 8. We would also put $15 into that field, hoping that we're going to get a field number so we can populate the 5 and 9. Now, If that 5 rolls, I'll show you how to deal with that in the next video. But if the 6 or 8 rolls during that, we can repopulate that, re-ante that field bet. And it's kind of cool how that works. But again, we're going to cover more in the next video. And if you like the series that I'm doing here, guys, and to get caught up on the series, click on the link on that side of the screen there. And that'll bring you through the knowing your limits. It'll bring you through the phases of the dice roll. Come through the 2 come out rolls, the dark side and the light side videos that I put out. But hey, my name is Joe, and this is my Craps Master journey. Let's make it yours too.